Hey guys, it's Matt. It appears that David Icke, is it? I always say Icke. I think it's Ike, Ike, I-A. I think Ike, he's back. He's back. Recent videos, 22 minutes ago, I am tempted to click here. 1 day ago, 2 days ago here, I watched this one. 3 days ago, I'll summarize this one for you. I'm back. This is the one that initially got my attention. And then 4 days ago, but before that, 5 years ago. There's a 5-year gap between videos. Now, they took him down. He's censored, of course. These stories about people, it seems like I'm going to really come down hard on, no, David Icke, whatever role he's played has been necessary for our truth research community. Jordan Maxwell, there's many that have played very interesting and necessary roles as long as we continue to evolve. His role, in my opinion, whether he knows it or not, he gets people stuck focusing on the conspiracy. One of the main parts of this channel is if you get stuck in those weeds, you're lost. As usual, the conversation, let me just get right to the heart of the matter right now, and then we'll talk about a lot of different things coming up over the next 10 or 20 minutes. The heart of the matter is the Not Milk really doesn't mind any of this conspiracy talk as long as the conversation never shifts to, number one, reality itself, and what reality itself at the fundamental or metaphysical level is trying to do to the real spiritual being, how it's trying to block you. As a spiritual being, what are you supposed to overcome? It never gets to that level. That is the level I've tried to take it to.
The period of Babylon and ancient Egypt and ancient Rome, right up into today's society. So the question, obviously, that I would ask is, what's the force that's been there all along that's orchestrated all this?
What's the force that's orchestrated all of this that's been here all along? Well, not Milk, of course. Even you, David, with your busy schedule, should have come across the Quantum of Conscious channel at least once over the many years. The Not Milk, what do you call it?
And to do that, you go into another dimension of reality. One very close to this one, which is a tiny band of frequency. That's what the human world is. But it's another dimension beyond the ability of human sight to access, decode, in other words. And you realize, as the dots connect, and everything in the end connects into it, which is, people will see that with the roadmap. You see that when these rich and famous global cult initiates in politics and corporations and Silicon Valley, on and on and on, when they're taking part in satanic ritual.
Okay, Amish classroom. And you spitballers in the back, put those spitballs down. Pay attention up here for once. Stop it. I'm going to break it down for you, just like that guy in Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing. He said to that other gentleman and his other friend, Sweet Dick Willie, and Do the Right Thing. He said, I'm going to break it down for you now. I'm going to break it down for you, tell you what's going on here. The Not Milk generally loves whatever a role player like David Icke or Icke, whatever he is, the Not Milk generally loves it. No, I don't think the Not Milk was terrified and had to ban him for 5 years. It's all part of the image and the persona. That doesn't mean David is in on it. No, I believe 99 point whatever percent of people are not getting secret orders. They're not going to the Not Milk window, the secret window, going, I'm here for my secret orders. Can I get my secret orders? No, I don't think it works that way. I think almost everybody in this reality is, in some sense, on the frequency, on the download, and in some sense a role player in doing what the Not Milk wants. And yes, that means we have to be extremely careful that we're not also playing right into its hands. But the Not Milk generally loves David and Jordan Maxwell and others, in my opinion, because they constantly just point at the bad guy. It seems like in David's new book now, which I forget what it's called, it's at the top of his YouTube page here, which I've cut off, Roadmap or something like that, something about the maze of madness. It's about, well, what he calls not milk. It's the bad guy here. Interdimensional beings. He alluded to it in that segment that I played for you. Interdimensional beings just outside the perception of reality. It's the constant quest to try to find the bad guy, the constant quest to point out the bad guy, bring the bad guy into the police lineup. No, it's this bad actor, that. See all the bad things happening to you? If you focus on that, the not milk is very pleased. That's exactly what it wants. My contention is we know there's a bad guy here. It doesn't matter exactly what it is. All that matters is what we see, what it's trying to do to us. Can we overcome it? And go ahead. They know. Worry about yourself. Can you overcome and do what you need to do for yourself? That it doesn't. Focusing on the bad guy is the major step before the real step that the not milk doesn't want the real spiritual being engaged in. Now, whether David's getting his secret orders, waiting for my secret orders, whether that's or he knows what role he's playing, or he's just trying his best, it doesn't matter. Now, I don't want this video to turn into, is David Icke a role player working for Not Milk? Is he legitimate? Is he just an Alex Jones type? That's not the point of the presentation I'm trying to make here. I'm sure the comments are already starting. I'm 6 minutes in or so. There are David Icke, he's a fraud. But if you are there, you've lost. That is not the point I want to make here. I've stressed he might be trying his best, he might not. I'm sure the comments are already in this video about how illegitimate or legitimate he is, mostly with you being skeptical, of course, he's illegitimate. Not the point. Yeah, we all know his history, a BBC sports reporter 30-some years ago, something like that, whatever it may be. He could be going up to the Not Milk window and getting secret orders. And all of these role players have been necessary for our journey, because as long as we keep moving forward, I'll just be brief because I've told you 100 times. 2008, watched the Glenn Beck show on Fox every night. It was amazing. Here's what George Soros is up to and all this. It was incredible, and it was true. These are bad actors, people like George Soros, but they want you to get stuck there, of course. And these role players, if that's what they are, they're necessary and they're really helpful to all of us as long as we keep moving on. I watched Alex Jones for several years. I listened to Rush Limbaugh, as I've said, for several years. But then, the real truth seeker that's at wants to get to the highest level, very early on senses that this is not where I need to be. And even if this person's trying their best, they're in a way holding me back. So we leave these people behind. I listened to Mark Levin on the radio in 2007, 2008, 2009, 10, or whatever it may be, around those years. We're going to do a constitutional convention and take back the United States. And I believed it. I thought we could do this. We all get stuck at these levels. It doesn't matter what David Icke knows or doesn't know about his role. What he's done, same with Jordan Maxwell, very, very necessary and important, no matter who he is or what he knows. I applaud the roles of these people. All of them have been extremely helpful to me, but I've progressed and I thank them, and it doesn't matter to me who they are or what their exact role is, because we've moved past it. Well, Matt, the next logical question then must be, are you another role player in the whole... Well, yeah, of course. Where do you think I was going with this? You some sort of genius to come up with that? Of course, that's where this is going, of course. That's where it has to go after what I just said. All I can try to prove to you is I'm trying my best. Have we found the final level? Probably not, because we thought we found it several times, and it turns out not being the final level. But I'll tell you one thing I'm completely confident about. Walking away from the conspiracy, walking away from the weeds and all that it wants us to chase, to get in touch with the spiritual side of things and what you're supposed to do in the short time that's left. I don't know how many more levels there are after that. It leaves a channel with nothing to do and a person running the channel with almost nothing to talk about, but somehow I make 5 to 6 videos a week. I don't know. I guess I should thank Not Milk for the endless comedic content. But by the way, the AI image It took 15 years off of me. You saw me in the parking lot just a few days ago, Matt, in the direct sun. He's an old man. You're looking old. The AI took in this image, and I never ran a show like this and put a suit on. This is AI. It took 15 years off of me. Usually it makes me real fat, chubby, like a fat Timogen. That's Genghis Khan. There's no hint of Asian in this one. 15 years off, but I have a little bit more hair. I think this is one I'm going to frame. Sorry. Yeah, you're saying, well, Matt, what's your role in this? Oh, that's great, genius. Of course, that's exactly what you're supposed to do. I'm aware, and I've said many times myself, maybe I am falling into the trap. Maybe I'm aware at least that I may be doing what the not milk wants, but I don't see, I'm aware of it and I keep it on the table, but I don't see how that's possible. Applying the rule of opposites, seeing exactly what it wants from us, begging us to get back into the conspiracy, which I try to most days pull us out of. Yes, every once in a while, oh, Matt's doing a screen exercise. Yes, every once in a while we go back in order to come out. I serve the first graders and the third graders and the fifth graders. Put those spitballs down. I serve that group here in the Amish classroom as well as those ready to graduate. Those ready to graduate, some just think it's all for them, and they don't know there's people that just showed up here. They can't see that for some reason, which is totally bizarre. Matt, why are you going back here? Because my main job is to get the first grade truther to about 9th or 10th grade. That's my main job. Then once a week, we'll try to serve those that are ready to graduate or postgraduate level, whatever that means. Okay, yeah, I'm aware that this this may not be the final step. And in a way, I'm holding myself back. In a way, I may be holding you back. That didn't come out right, so I'm re-recording. Better get it right after saying I may be holding you back. I may be holding myself back. All I can promise you, and I can never prove it, is I'm trying my best. And those that have been here a long time in the old guard, and goes back to Texas Shrug, goes back about 15 years, that other YouTube channel, there has been a progression here. Was mired in the conspiracy for 10 years or more, breaking down the 7-Eleven job application, breaking down every mall event and school event and all of it, been there in the middle of the weeds, but there has been a progression here. And as the years have gone by, our image, our picture of what this reality is for, what the bad guy's role is, has become not crystal clear, but very, very obvious and clear to us at this point. So much so that my reality is a half page. And whatever I presented about a year ago on the half page reality, if I had to rewrite it now, it would only be very, very slightly different. 95% would be exactly the same. And I don't think it will change much. It's one or two sentences. We're in a game of sorts. The consequences of winning or losing the game are open for debate, depending on whether you're a no consequences person or you believe there are dire consequences to falling for the trick. But we're in a game of sorts, and there's an opponent to you as a spiritual being. It's not milk and those that are tuned to its frequency. Its goal is very simple: to block what you're supposed to do and get out of this reality. It mostly does that by getting you to focus on the material side of the equation. There's nothing on the other side of the equal sign. There's nothing on the spiritual side, according to Not Milk. You're a physical being. You came from Monkey Man. You came from Big Bang. You came from 2 amino acids humping on the back of a rock. You're material, and you seek the material rewards in its lube. That's 95% of its trick. And science is there for no other reason than to back up its trick. That is the role of science in this reality, to support and prop up the trick of materialism. It's pretty much that simple. It's a few sentences, folks. To me, this is the creepiest image in movie history, mostly because it's true. Now, this is so disturbing. I'm going to get this image off in about 45 seconds. I'll insert something more friendly. But, mostly because it's true. Invasion of the Body Snatchers is not a literal truth drop, but it's very similar to what is going on in this reality, but not pod people in the physical process and the transformation that they go through in the movie Invasion of the Body Snatchers. People here are body snatched, But you know what I'm going to say? So and I've said it 1,000 times, so I'll be very brief. It's a frequency and a download, and agreeing to take the frequency. They put the frequency on a big spoon and they go yum 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 yum, and they love putting it in their mouth. They love aligning to it. Then they'll take another selfie. People here, it's sinister, but there is that element of consent in the equation. Can't just snatch people up like this movie. People have to agree to it, but they are almost literally body snatched when they're on the download. And are we the only? It is ignorant to say, I guess we're the only ones. We're special. We're the only. Are we the only ones that aren't on the download, or are we just completely deluding ourselves as well? Oh boy, I guess I've been floating that out a lot recently. And I look to your comments. How can we test ourselves to make sure we're not all carrying out the wishes of not milk, just at a different level? How can we test ourselves? I mean, again, I don't think so. But you want me to just come out here and say, we've won? I can tell you 100%, we're in no way playing the role that the not. What do you want me to? I mean, isn't it smarter to keep it on the table? Doesn't the wise man and woman keep that on the table? It's ignorant to, we've won. That doesn't work either. So let me get rid of this picture. And remember, one half minute. Remember, they say Denzel Washington in the movie Glory, he was almost possessed or took on the soul or spirit of an ex-slave to play that role. And you've heard stories about Heath Ledger, and when he became the Joker, he was almost possessed. And sometimes actors, is that just acting, or is he just? I don't know, man, but that's really, really creepy. Almost like, was he really body snatched when he did the movie? Okay, I got to get another picture up. That is just disturbing, and it's really disturbing because it's real. That's really what your neighbor's like, or your cousin. Let's go back and talk about David Icke for a few more minutes. Am I skeptical? Of course. But I want to stress that if you are at that level in determining who he is, you've lost. That's another game the Not Milk wants you playing. But yeah, I don't believe a real truth researcher can sell out Wembley unless they're saying what the Not Milk wants. He may be trying his best, but he might be saying things that the Not Milk really wants him to say, getting the entire audience of Wembley Stadium to focus in on the specific conspiracy and who's the bad guy, and are the lizard people the bad guy, and what really is the queen. And I would think if I called not that I could even sell it out, I would get maybe there's 20 of you that live in the UK, or maybe 10 of you could come down from Aberdeen in Scotland to see me if I could book when me and Greg book we book Wembley Stadium. We get 40 people. But the thing is, they wouldn't even give me the stadium. They would no way be like, who? Matt? Quantum? Well, we're willing to rent the stadium. Yes, I know it's $7.2 million to rent the stadium, but we're confident we're going to get the ticket sales. I'm willing to pay you $7.2 million to hold this Friday night for me. They wouldn't even think, hello? Hello? They wouldn't even take the chance. I think they would hang up on me. Matt, they ain't that scared of you. I hear you. But I'm saying I would never even get to the point where I could even have a conversation with Wembley Stadium, let alone someone like David Icke selling it out, or whatever he put into it, 30, 40,000 people into whatever. It was a big crowd. He did a few times. I don't think it's possible for a real truth researcher that's saying things that the Not Milk doesn't want said for that to occur. It's just not possible. Whether he's in on it or not is irrelevant. But in terms of the recent presentations, I'm back. In one presentation, he emphasized 5, 6, 7 times. I apologize if I already mentioned this in this video, but I had to re-record a few segments. It's hard to remember exactly what I said. David Icke mentions that in 36 years of doing this, and in 36 years of doing... 36 years? He keeps saying it over and over again. Well, at least 5 times in one 25 to 30-minute presentation. I've been at this for 36 years. It's like, well... Okay, is that as bad as the 33? No, but that is the 3 6s. I mean, that it's strange. I've listened to David Icke on and off, like Jordan Maxwell. I mean, over 15 years, I've heard 100 videos at least over 15 years. And I've never heard him say years ago, I've been at this for 17 years, or now it's 36 years. Keep stressing. It's strange. Is he sending a secret message to his brethren, Matt, or is he just on the download? Either one's possible. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He is, if at the very minimum, at the very best case scenario, he's trying his best. He's not getting secret orders. He doesn't work for the Skull and Bones, but he's saying what the Not Milk wants because he's getting his listeners to focus on the bad guy. The Not Milk loves when we try to focus and pick out the bad guy here. It just loves it. That's why it's floated 20, 30, 40 different potential bad guys in this reality. Based on that, I can't resist it. I had to make this slide. Now, does anybody here believe that we should try to find the bad guy? Is there any first graders or third graders here or fourth graders that are still looking for the bad guy or believe that one of these bad actors is the real culprit and maybe they could be arrested? Does anybody believe? There's nobody here that would believe that. We can see clearly that this is just the more crap that the Not Milk floats to get you back in the weeds. It wants you looking for a bad guy, which means there is no bad guy to point out. It's just a general frequency. Okay, we've been over it a million times, but this is a fun. Bring him out. Bring him out. Bring the first son of bitch out. An Archon. Oh, that's the queen. No, that's just a regular Archon. That's the Archon that swoops down at you at death and tries to fool you to take another incarnation on Earth. That's the son of bitch that comes down at death. Okay, there's the Archons. I guess they're here and at death. Oh, God. The Anunnaki. What? I don't know exactly. Are they? They're the ones, the Sumerians or whatever. Oh, they came down to mine the gold or something. they were here. They were here to enslaved the human race thousands of years ago, and they came to this planet to mine the gold or something. They're all sons of bitches. If any of these son of bitches are here, show yourself. Show yourself. Stand up and represent. Not the reptilians. You know how many stories there are of the queen shape-shifting? Oh, they're all real. They're all real. I didn't say the queen is the same as you, sir, the spiritual being you are. Of course it's a different type of strange entity, but it's not a reptilian shapeshifter where if you had a hot dog at the end of your plate at the table, a tongue's going to go down the table and steal your hot dog. It's not that, but it's not the same spiritual entity that you are. That's where it counts most. See, here we go again. What's going on here? Focusing on the physical. See, it's Matt. It's playing the same game again with us. It's doing it again. All physical. It's this form. It's that form. It's what about the spiritual differences between the bad guys? Doesn't have you guys focus on that, does it? So where were we? The reptilians. Okay, the Greys and other aliens. All the Palladians and all these. What did that guy say? The bird people, the blue avian bird people, or what was David Wilcock or whatever? Was that his name or whatever? Oh, come on, Matt. But Matt, that's one guy that does know. I don't know whether they know their role or not. It doesn't matter. Forget that. Maybe David Wilcock or whatever is trying to do the best he can. We can see it's ridiculous, so it doesn't really matter. Greys and other aliens. What about all the testimonials before Kerry Cassidy and Project Camelot? Maybe they all really happened. In the book, The Mothman Prophecies, is it Keel was his name, right? David, I said Keen last time. David Keel, I think his name, Mothman. He's basically saying these people aren't all making it up. It really happened to them. But is it real the way they think? No, it's like a trick of reality itself. It's complicated. There are people where Greys walked up to him and said, little Gray walked up to a farmer out in his field, a spaceship landed. Keel says they're not lying and making it up. To them, in some way, it really happened. But it's not a real spaceship that traveled from the Vega system across space. It's something else going on with reality itself. So where are we? The aliens by itself, the list, you could just go out 100 things, like the blue avian son of bitches. Interdimensional beings. This seems to be David's latest from his new book. He's saying human perception is just 1% or whatever. What's the evil outside our perception? Well, okay, fine. I guess that's not much different than as above the so below, the war in heaven and all that horse shit. And what is it? The beings from the astral. And Matt, if you would take the DMT or the ayahuasca, you'd really say, "Oh, shut up. If there are little beings around me right now, if they're not in my dimension, who cares? I'd serve them a fucking Eggo waffle, but they can't eat it because they're in another dimension. Fuck them. I don't care what's in another dimension as long as it stays in its dimension. I don't care if it walks right through my damn living room. Fuck that little thing. I ain't taking DMT or ayahuasca to see it. I don't want to see it. People have pushed this DMT and these trips on me it's bizarre. Like, let's say it's really there. Well, maybe it is. How does that affect me? Does that make me a lesser or greater spiritual being because I can see little fucking clockwork elves walking around? Who fucking cares? Sorry. Satan, demons, okay? Matt, that's the real bad guy. All the others aren't. That's the real one. Okay, you got it. Let's shut the whole channel down. Thanks for coming. I'm going to close this video down, and I'll maybe like David. I'll see you in 5 years. Just like David Icke. Icke, I'll see you in 5 years. Other gods could be the bad guys. Enlil and Enki. There's videos that go back and forth. Is Enlil really the bad one, or is it Enki? Is it Marduk? And how many years as truthers did we get involved in these stupid-ass waste of time gods like Baal and what's it, Tammuz? Who the hell's Tammuz? Who would name somebody that? Baal. Is it Baal or Baal? Matt, don't you know that's what they do at the Bow Grove? I thought that was Marduk. Who cares? If these are real gods to a certain group of creeps here, well, so what? Are they your gods? Who cares? And to all of them, why don't they show themselves? Get what the hell? The demiurge. That's what we're going to call it. You know, the YouTube's, Matt, this is breaking down. Of course it is. It's getting close to 30 minutes. We're not allowed to say the demiurge anymore, and you have to say the demiurge. What's that horrible movie, The Substance, where she's switching back and forth? Why did that movie get such a applause recently? I mean, people were saying, that movie, it was disgusting and it was horrible. I mean, I turned it off after an hour. It was and Prisoners, too. Is it Prisoners where the whole classroom disappears? 25 minutes, I turned it off. This is terrible. And I canceled it. Somehow my HBO's still there. I canceled it. But you know, whenever you cancel it, oh, you're paid for another month or whatever. Then they try to loop you back in with some sort of deal or whatever. Sorry. Then the last one, the demiurge, and that's, hey, Sophia, if you did this to us and you created that little demiurge baby Tammuz or whatever, why don't you come down and make amends, Sophia? And the Gnostics are all upset. Oh, make amends. If you made this son of a bitch, why don't you come down here and, I don't know, build a couple dams, hydroelectric dams for us or something. Do something to give back if you put this son of a bitch in our reality. You gave birth to this little demiurge. It's breaking down. Well, so what? You do dark reality 7 days a week and see how you act. The Nephilim. That's from that's when the Nephilim. That's okay. I'm sorry, Christians. I knew Matt was like this. The demons came down and mated with if the demons came down and mated with the sons and daughters of whatever it would be nothing but it would produce little Madonnas and it would produce little Lady Gagas. Lady Gaga is the Nephilim, probably. Madonna's the Nephilim, and recently what I've said, Saint Vincent is Nephilim, probably. Rosie O'Donnell could be Nephilim. Oprah could be Nephilim. And one of the characteristics of real Nephilim is severe weight loss and weight gain. I'm not joking. That's what okay. Guys, I love this exercise. If you're focused on finding a bad guy here, even, I forgot the secret societies and the old money and the Rothschilds, if you're focused on that, you have lost. Not Nilk, if you want me and others like me to tune into shows like Dancing with the Stars and watch some of this crap, why don't you make the guest stars or guest dancers somewhat interesting? Use members of the police lineup and the bad guys here in this reality as dancers. Who would want to see a season of Dancing with the Stars? Different types of aliens. Greys dancing with greys. Blue avians dancing with blue avians. Summon certain demons in to dance. Whatever it may be, I'd watch, wouldn't you? Here's an example. Let's see this Dancing with the Stars. I'll tune in. Our next Nephilim dancer is the great-great-great-great-great-great-grandson of a demon that came to Earth thousands of years ago to mate with Julius Caesar's sister. Dancing tonight with Patty to the Fred Astaire classics, Singing in the Rain, I give you the Nephilim, Igaki! Igaki!